For more than 100 years, the New York International Auto Show has showcased some of the hottest cars and trucks ever seen. And joining us now from the show floor is Kelley Blue Book's Micah Muzio with highlights of this year's show, including the coolest concepts and car trends that we'll soon be seeing in our driveways, or at least we hope so. How are you, Micah?
I'm doing really well. You mentioned concepts, and we can start this thing off with a bang, talking about the Genesis Essentia concept. And this is actually a weird moment because there's not somebody walking through frame trying to get at it. It's been getting a lot of attention, and understandably so. It's a beautiful concept from a relatively new brand. Genesis is essentially the luxury division of Hyundai, so it's a new brand, and this is how they're defining their style. So this may not wind up in a dealership near you, but it gives us a sense of where Genesis wants to take their brand aesthetically. So this is an electric concept, 0 to 60 time in about 3 seconds. But what I love is that the cockpit is transparent. So when you're in it, it's like flying a fighter jet. And the windshield does this cool, seamless transition all the way down into the hood. So there's this transparent hood, and you can see the suspension elements in there. It's just such a cool concept. What a great thing to see at the auto show. I'm actually excited, which is saying something.
Well, you know, yeah, you make that analogy to spacecraft. It does look a little bit like something that you could maybe shoot in outer space with. Yeah, talk a little bit about what else you're hearing a buzz about this year on the floor.
You know, from a buzz perspective, SUVs are the big deal. Everybody's moving out of sedans into SUVs, and you walk around the show here and you're going to see a lot of them. A great example would be the 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. And aesthetically, I really dig what they've done with the Santa Fe. It has a very premium vibe, even though it's a mainstream SUV. But what's really compelling and also kind of indicative of where the automotive industry is going is the standard safety roster. So standard on every Santa Fe are things like automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection. So if you're driving along and somebody starts to walk out in front of you, the vehicle can detect that, and if you don't respond to its warnings, it'll automatically apply the brakes. And then there's also another feature that's also standard that I've never even heard of before called Safe Exit Assist, where it can detect if a vehicle is coming up behind you, say you're parked on a row of cars, and if it's concerned that you might open your door at the wrong moment and maybe have your door taken off, it'll prevent you from actually opening the door. Again, that's standard equipment, which is really neat. And then the other trend that we're noticing as we walk around, electrification. So a lot of electric cars, a lot of hybrids, and hybrids that you wouldn't expect. The Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid is a new one. It's a minivan. It's the first hybrid minivan. And what's neat about this, I've actually driven it a fair bit very recently, and you have 33 miles of pure electric range if you plug it in overnight. Exhaust that range, and 32 mpg combined, which is an outstanding figure for a minivan. So I think that's really what we're learning at the auto show here, is that technology is finding its ways into very modestly priced cars, and everything's getting more efficient through the power of electricity.
I like that technology. I like that most of our commutes around the Baltimore area, under 30 miles, you might get away with all-electric drive there, so that's awesome. Last thought, you know, a lot of us here in the Baltimore area, we can't get to New York for the show, but where would you recommend we head, maybe like online to get more information, check out some of these vehicles?
Well, I mean, I would like to have Baltimore friends here in New York, but if you guys cannot make the trek, you can join me over at Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. We got a full wrap-up of everything here at the auto show. And if you're just buying or selling a car, or you just want to do a little bit of automotive research, KBB.com is a brilliant resource. Please, Baltimore, come join us.
We will do that. Hey, Micah, thanks so much from the big auto show in New York City. We appreciate having you here. And we will be back with music from Baltimore's own Michael Sharp. Right after this. Stay tuned.